My first question would be for Shola. So I understand that a lot of people don't talk about the psychological effect of filming for such a long time and on a character that's so multifaceted. So what was it like for you filming Eniola for such a long time, and how were you able to deal with it emotionally?
First of all, it was it was challenging, energy sapping, tiring, lot of headache, body pain. So how did I manage to do it? First of all, I put my God. God helped me. Because anything I want to, anything I'm about doing or at the time doing, I put God first for strength, for courage, for wisdom, and for understanding. And God has been there for me. Now let's come to our Rem. I'll say, thank God that I have a good director that knows when to start, that knows when to stop. And then I've already zero myself without distraction. Okay? This is KOB. Preparation, first of all, is to understand what you are going in for. You prepare your mind. Okay, for how long are you going to do this? I knew that working with Kemi Adetiba, I said, okay, you are not going to do 1 month and think you are done. Put KOB for 6 months recording. Don't put KOB like you are doing 1 month, no? Because this is KOB, we're still doing KOB. I said, for filming of KOB, so last zero yourself, put yourself for 3 months. That's preparation for KOB. I'm taking the script for KOB. Immediately, KOB was given to me the script. I started reading that very day. When I sleep, I was reading. My KOB script was by my side every minute of my step of that. Every time on my bed, when I'm eating, when I'm playing, KOB took over. So I've already prepared myself with KOB. I've asked a lot of questions with KOB. Don't even done preparation. I've asked so many questions with Kemi. And Kemi was there to answer all these questions. So I've already prepared myself because I know that it's going to be time taking, energy sapping. I know that it's going to take a lot of things from me. So my head, my past, my present, my future, everything in it before I even start doing it. So then after, when I was filming KOB, there's nothing like sleeping. There's no way you cannot sleep. No sleep. It was sleepless night all through. Even though when you're working, when you are eating, you are still working. No time. You don't have that time. But you have KOB in your head. It was when I finished KOB that everything that I lost during my sleeping, then I get them back. But that process of starting KOB, what you need is God's grace, the preparation, for that wisdom to do it, that understanding to know how to do it and to handle it. And another thing you should put in your head is like you are coming to work with a lot of people, with different people. You must learn how to be patient. You must learn how to endure. So these are all the things you need to bring along when you're coming to work with Kemi Adetiba. So that was how I prepared for it.
Oh, wow, fantastic, ma'am. But then there's like the first episode, because I've seen a couple of episodes from the series. Mm-hmm. Those scenes where you were very emotional, you had your younger self speaking to you, demonizing you. Those scenes were really painful to watch, and it's not just anyone who can play them as well as you did. So how did you particularly prepare for those intense scenes, and recovering from them, because I know you must have gone into a really dark place to get that emotion out. So recovering and preparing for those things.
I said to Kemi, when I walk, Kemi knows me very well. When I'm walking and I could feel myself that this is Sola Sobowale walking, then I'm doing zero. I'm not performing. But when I'm walking and I see that my leg, I'm not on the ground, I float. Kemi Adetiba knows. I float when I walk. I'm in another realm when I walk. It is true. If you ask me, there are some sins in KOB, King of Boys, any job that I do. As KOB, when you see some things and you ask me to go back and do it, there's no way I can go back and do it. What you just asked me is one of those sins. There are a lot of sins like that there's no way I will do it the same thing. That is why when Kemi is, that was why I said to you that when you work with directors must know the actor that she or he is working with. To understand. Kemi understands very well. And that's why when I'm working, before you see Kemi cut, she knows when to cut. She knows when to leave me. So that particular ones, and I remember there was a particular scene that I did that after I couldn't get out of it. After the cut, I was still there. After cut and everything, I was still there. I couldn't. It took, Kemi will tell you, like 5 to that long for me to get out, to come back. I was right there. Then she came to me, then she kept rubbing my back. But I couldn't leave. I was in there. I could not get out. And if you say, shall I go back to that and redo it? There's no way. So I thank God, because I can't explain how I do it. I cannot. I don't know myself. I do not know myself, because I remember when they were cutting, I went for my ADR. So I was in the room and somebody just came, put on the TV. Maybe they didn't want me to get bored, to watch TV. So and it was KOB that they returned, that they put it, and I was lucky. I was so amazed. I couldn't believe that it was Sola Sobowale. I didn't see myself. I was seeing somebody else, and I went like, what was that? Then she came. I didn't even know that she was actually recording me. So when I saw, when she landed, I said, Kemi, what is it? This is me? I did this? So my darling, I don't know how to explain how I do it. I don't know how I did everything I've been doing. I don't know what I'm going to know tomorrow. I don't understand. I don't know. But I give God the glory. And I thank you guys for embracing it, for loving everything I do. But to explain how I did, I don't know. I don't know.
Thank you so much, ma'am. My next question, I'm itching to ask Nse, working on this project, we definitely didn't see it coming. So what was your reaction the first time you got contacted by Kemi to work on the series?
I was shocked, because it had taken almost 7 months before I got a call back after my reading. So I was shocked, and I kept asking, why did she pick me? Why did it take 7 months? Why me? Why me? Oh no, I'm not going to do this. I can't do this. I can't deliver. No, this is going to be scary. Those were the things. I was happy because it was monumental for me, my career, the people I was going to work with. And there was joy, but there was also fear. I never discount my fear, because I think my fear drives me. So yes, there was that. And it was an honor, I guess. And that's what it is.
I mean, I have particularly seen you play diverse roles, and I think you're one of the actors that you've been able to achieve that in your career. We've seen you do too many roles to count. You're like, okay, so you can literally achieve any role that's given to you. But with this particular role, what was the most frightening? What frightened you the most in playing this character?
I'd never ever been in anything that was politically inclined. And so having to be in a space where it wasn't a rom-com, it wasn't just pure drama. It was something different, with a different theme, different hue, different everything. So for me, it was like putting a fish out of water and asking them to just dance like they were swimming. So that was it for me. But I'm thankful, like I've said to every other journalist who's been here, that I'm thankful to the people I had to work with. I'm thankful for the director, thankful for everybody, because they helped. They did help. And since man's like God, I guess that's what it is. So I'm thankful, really. I really am.
So my next question is for everyone in the house.
Yeah.
And it's about the expectation, the fan expectation for KOB. The series has been massive. Did it at any point affect your work? And how were you people able to deal with all of that pressure that came with fan expectation?
Okay, so as a new entrant to the KOB army and family, it was pressure for me to step up and match up what had already been done, and even better, my own personal work. Because an actor is only judged by his last project. So for me, it had to be more than amazing. But I cannot imagine the pressure they felt, because they'd already done one part. And everyone kept saying, oh, KOB this, KOB that. And then Twitter is going mental. Everyone's going mental. I'm just a new entrant. So for me, it was more personal. For them, I cannot explain. And I think they should tell you. I don't know.
Remi, you were going to say something?
Oh, no. I was just laughing. I'll go after Anshala.
Okay.
When Kemi said he wants to do another one, I said, Kemi, what is that you want to write again? What is that you want to write again? Because I said, I thought we touched all corners. I thought we turned all the stones. So what are you writing again, Kemi? Then she went, Anshala, you have to do this. You have to do this. Kemi was calling every day. Without even seeing the script. Kemi put panic. I said, what am I going to do again? How am I going to supersede? Because the what's it called? The KOB one that's already set. Kemi, help me, Remi. KOB has, the very first KOB has set one. Give me that word.
At the bar.
The bar. How do I supersede that? How do I supersede that? What am I going to do again? There's this echoing in my ears every time when my phone is, Anshala, you have to do this. You just have to do it. And okay, I'll talk to you later. Put the phone down. I said, Kemi, what are you doing to me? Okay, let me have the scripts. This Return of the King. I know that it has taken me to another level. Completely. People will say this and see another Sola Sobowale. This has taken me to another. I said to Kemi, Kemi Adetiba, you created an empire. Kemi Adetiba created an empire. And she made every one of us work or operate in another frequency. That is what Kemi Adetiba did. And I'm not going to say much. I'm going to wait for 27th of August for people to watch and see what God made Remi Adetiba to create. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Remi?
I would say it's funny that Shala's telling this story because on the flip side, Kemi didn't want to do a second King of Worlds. She said she was done. Now, I was pushing her because I thought it needed to be done. I thought there was a need. The following that it had, the audience, the army deserved to hear what happened next to Eniola. What I didn't tell her was I didn't want to do another KOB. So my aim was, let me convince her to do another KOB. And when she says yes.
So you are the one.
I tried. So there was a day where we finally, my mother and I was in Lagos and I was spending some time with Kemi, and my mother was also with us. And I think it was, for some reason, we were drinking champagne and just hanging out. And I used the champagne to kind of lubricate Kemi's mind, like, so KOB2, you doing it? Let's go. And I think the champagne maybe got to her. She's like, you know what? I have an idea. I have an idea for a story. And she literally just leaves us in the living room, goes and starts writing it. And then that's the last time we saw her that day. Now, later on, I ended up coming back on, to produce. And this was after the script was done, basically, because I'm attached. I can't. It would be hard for me to watch because you're so attached to everything that happened in the first one. The good times, the long nights, the hard fought battles, the hard won battles. You don't want to leave the story unfinished as far as you're concerned. You want to be part of taking it to the next level. So for us, for me, after coming back on, it was important, and I think it was for us all, it was important that we did it bigger and better. With everything, with the performances, with the cinematography, the lighting, the camera work, with the wardrobe, with really everything, the music. Everyone came in here saying, we're going to outdo the first KOB. And it's gotten to the point, I joke with Kemi now that I'm like, I find it hard to watch the first one because I love the second one so much. And we really did outdo ourselves. So now looking at the first one, it's hard to look back. Obviously, it will always be, a fond memory and hold a special place in our hearts. But I think we really, really did go bigger and better with the new one.
Remi, I keep telling people that the first one is a child's play.
Right?